Please open it. I can't breathe, she begged, her muffled voice clawing through the rough burlap sack. The lonely rancher hesitated, his calloused hands trembling as he gripped the coarse fibers. His pulse drummed against his throat. When he finally pulled the sack open, the moonlight revealed not what he expected, not a bandit, not a drifter, not a wild creature, but a girl with eyes so wide and desperate, it froze him where he stood. The Wyoming wind howled against the barn doors, rattling chains and lifting hay dust into the lantern glow. Silas Boone had lived alone on his spread for 12 long years, since the day cholera claimed his wife and newborn child. He didn't welcome company. He didn't invite strangers. But tonight, someone had left a sack on his porch, something writhing inside. He thought it a sick joke, maybe a coyote or half-dead pig. Instead, it was her. Her face was streaked with dirt, her lips cracked, wrists bound with leather straps that cut deep. She gasped for air, clutching her throat, her dress torn and blood-stained at the hem. "Who in God's name?" Silas muttered, taking a step back. His revolver hung heavy at his hip, and instinct told him not to trust her. Out here, trust could kill a man faster than bullets. "Don't send me back," she whispered, her voice rasping like brittle leaves. That phrase hooked into him like barbed wire. "Back? Back where?" Silas crouched low, his boots creaking on the barn planks. "Who tied you up?" Her eyes darted to the shadows, as if expecting someone to emerge. "They'll be coming. You have to hide me." The storm outside cracked thunder across the plains. Silas stood slowly, dragging his hand over his unshaven jaw. The night felt wrong, too quiet, too sharp. He pulled the lantern closer, searching her face for lies. All he saw was terror. Still, terror could be staged. "Start talkin'," he demanded. She licked her lips. "My name's Clara. They call themselves the Black Spur. Riders. 10 of 'em. They took me from the stagecoach near Rawlins. Killed the driver. Took the strongbox. And me." The name chilled him. Silas had heard of the Black Spur Gang, murderers who slit throats for sport, who branded their victims with a spur's teeth just to watch them scream. Men whispered that wherever the spur rode, no one lived to tell it. So why was this girl alive? "You're lying," Silas said. "If the spur wanted you gone, you'd be 6 feet under already." Her chin quivered. "I wasn't supposed to make it this far. I ran. I stole one of their horses. They'll kill me when they find me. They'll kill you, too." As if on cue, the night outside shifted, a sound like distant thunder, but steadier. Hooves. Silas's blood ran cold. He snuffed the lantern. The barn plunged into shadow. Quiet. Clara pressed herself against the wall, breathing fast, eyes wide with the reflection of moonlight through the slats. Silas peered through a crack. Out on the rise, black figures on horseback ghosted against the horizon, torches flaring. The Black Spur. He counted 6, maybe 7. More shadows behind them. Damnation. Silas knew if he turned her over, they'd ride off without a second glance. His ranch would stand. His life, quiet and bitter as it was, would remain untouched. But the thought of pushing her back into their hands, it twisted something in his gut he thought long dead. "Why my ranch?" he whispered sharply. "Why'd you come here?" "I didn't." Clara shook her head fiercely. "I didn't know where I was riding. I just rode. Please, please don't let them take me back." The torches drew nearer, flames cutting across the fields. Silas's hand hovered over his revolver. He'd been waiting 12 years for a reason to draw it again. Maybe tonight was it. The riders split, circling wide. One torch broke off, heading straight for the ranch. Up the ladder, Silas hissed, pointing to the hayloft. "Don't breathe. Don't move." Clara scrambled, every rung creaking under her weight, vanishing into the shadows above. Silas pulled his Winchester from the rack, chambered around, and waited. His heart slammed against his ribs as hoofbeats pounded closer. The barn door groaned open. A man stepped inside, torchlight licking across his scarred face. His black hat cast a devil's shadow down his cheek. On his vest glinted a steel spur, its rowel sharpened to teeth. Silas knew him. Cole Maddox, second in command of the Black Spur. "Well," Maddox drawled, his voice dripping with whiskey and cruelty, "ain't this a cozy sight? Ol' Boone, hidden away on his dead wife's land. You seen any strays passin' through tonight?" Silas's jaw tightened. "Just the wind." Maddox chuckled low. He stepped closer, torch hissing. "Wind don't bleed. Wind don't scream. We lost something important, Boone. A little package. Pretty thing. Dark hair. Big eyes. You seen her? The loft boards above Silas creaked softly. Too softly for Maddox to hear, but Silas's blood iced over. He forced his hand steady on the rifle. No, Silas said flatly. Maddox grinned, gold tooth flashing. Funny. Horse tracks lead straight here. Another rider appeared in the doorway, torch raised. Then another. The barn began to fill with shadows, laughter, spurs jangling. Clara trembled above, hidden in the hay. Silas could hear her ragged breathing, as if every gasp was a prayer. Maddox leaned close, his breath hot with rot. You got two choices, Boone. You give her up, or we cut you open like a hog. Silas stared into the torchlight, his mind torn. He thought of 12 years of silence, of graves he talked to at night, of the wind howling through empty rooms. He thought of the sack on his porch, the plea in her voice, please open it. I can't breathe. And for the first time in 12 years, Silas Boone chose to fight. The Winchester roared like thunder, the blast tearing Maddox's shoulder wide open. Torches dropped, horses screamed outside. Clara shrieked in the loft, the riders shouting curses. Smoke and fire burst through the hay. Chaos. Silas fired again, spinning another spur backward into the dirt. Bullets split the night, planks shattering around him. He dove for cover, heart hammering. Above, Clara crawled through the loft, the fire licking higher. Her face shone pale in the glow as she screamed down to him, Silas. He barked back, run. But she didn't. Instead, she threw down a pitchfork, skewering one of the riders who tried to flank him. Her courage shocked him as much as the blood did. The barn became a furnace of gunfire and flames. Silas slammed his last round home, dropping the third rider. But Maddox still stood, blood soaking his vest, eyes glowing with rage. You'll die for this, Boone. He roared, lunging with a knife. They crashed into the dirt, fists and steel flashing. Silas caught the blade's edge on his palm, hot pain streaking his arm. He headbutted Maddox, felt the crunch of bone, then drove the knife into his gut. Maddox's scream echoed, dying into a wet gurgle. Silas staggered, coughing smoke, the barn collapsing around him. He looked up just in time to see Clara climbing down, her hair singed, her eyes blazing. More are coming, she cried. Through the haze, Silas saw torches swarming the ranch house now, black riders circling like vultures. There'd be no surviving this night. Not both of them. Silas gripped her shoulders hard, his voice rough. Take my horse. Ride south to the canyon. Don't stop. Don't look back. Her lips trembled. Not without you. He forced a broken smile. Ain't been nothing worth stayin' for, till. Now. Go. She shook her head fiercely. Silas. Gunfire cracked outside, splinters ripping the doorframe. Silas shoved her toward the back stall. His horse, Black Jack, pawed the ground, eyes wide with panic. Clara swung up, clutching the reins with shaking hands. Ride. Silas roared. The barn exploded behind her as she kicked Black Jack into the night, hooves pounding the earth. Torches wheeled, shouts rang out, but she vanished into the darkness, the canyon calling. Silas turned back, rifle in hand, as the Black Spur swarmed. Smoke and fire framed him like some ghost of vengeance. Alone, against 10 riders, he stood his ground. His last thought before the blaze consumed him was not of death, but of Clara's voice, her plea echoing still. Please open it. I can't breathe. And for once, he had given someone the air he himself had been denied for 12 long years. Out on the horizon, Clara rode hard into the wilderness, tears cutting through the soot on her face, her heart shattered and alive all at once. The night swallowed her, but Silas Boone's sacrifice rode with her, forever.